All right, guys, we're back for another episode of Shootin' Wrestling-ish. I don't know if that's going to be the regular name. I don't know if I'm going to change the name, but that's the name that we've got so far. So we got me, and we got my boy, the co-host, Darius, on the phone.
Hey, what's happening, beautiful people? What's happening out there in the wrestling world?
So yeah, like we said, this is just going to be random topics. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff. It doesn't ever go in order. It's whatever you want to do. We just start and we keep on going. I'll actually let you kick us off because I think I kicked us off last time. So what was one topic you wanted to cover?
Oh man. Let's talk about one of my favorites, man. I think this is a topic that everyone or every wrestling fan has talked about before in the comforts of their own home or with their buddies, out and about, on the way to shows or after. I want to talk about the greats. I want to talk about Mount Rushmore, your Mount Rushmore of wrestling. I'll talk about mine, you talk about yours. Let's do it. Let's shoot this shit.
Okay, how do you want to do it? You want to do just singles competitors? What's the first one you want to cover?
You know what? Let's talk about all-time Mount Rushmore first.
Okay.
And then let's talk about some heels and some faces. How about it?
All right, sounds good. All right, you kick me off. Give me your Mount Rushmore for the top guys.
Gotcha, man. Real simple here. So when I say this is my overall Mount Rushmore, this is my top picks. Mm-hmm. This is not the consensus. This is and so it shall be for you because it's your world. So at Mount Rushmore here, I have, and the reasons for each one, of course, Hogan. Okay, when you talk about wrestling, you got to talk about Hulk Hogan. Mm-hmm. He's like the freaking Jordan symbol.
Yeah.
As it relates to basketball. So that's Hulk Hogan up there. This is no particular order. HBK, Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Michael Hickenbottom, whatever you want to call him, he's up there. He's actually who I think the GOAT is, mm-hmm. or a GOAT, because that's stuff in wrestling. It depends on the era and whatnot, but he's definitely in a style of wrestling. But he's definitely the GOAT. Taker, my all-time favorite. I call him Mark Calloway now that he is retired and enjoying himself. He will forever be number one, and number two, and number three in my book. And coming in last on the Mount Rushmore, a guy who's very pivotal during the Attitude Era, who without him, the Attitude Era would not be what it can be. And I'm not talking about Vincent K. McMahon. I am talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is correct. So on my Mount Rushmore, I have HBK, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. What says you, my friend?
I mean, you can't get much better than that, to be honest. And I gotta switch some of my picks up because I can't go with the same ones as you. I got a few of the ones you have on yours.
Hey, man, great minds think alike, man. It's all right.
Oh, man. I don't know. I think for mine, I would go... I'll put HBK in there. He's got to be. You just can't have a Mount Rushmore without probably the best technical wrestler in the WWE from
arguably, hey, don't let the Bret Hart fans hear you say
from
that.
1993 till I don't know, till 2004 or 2005, he was probably the best technical wrestler on the planet.
Oh, I know some guys. You said what about Daniel Bryanson?
Brian Danielson?
There you go. Brian Danielson.
Man, listen. I think Bret Hart is a great technical wrestler too, but I don't think he had the showmanship that HBK had, and I think that's what made him go above him. But after that, I'm going to say it, and I don't really like this guy anymore, but I'm going to put John Cena on there.
Okay. That's freaking fair.
I just feel like, I feel like, listen, nobody gave this dude a shot for the first 2 years he was in the WWE. Everybody thought he was a joke. Nobody cared. Everybody was like, oh, this guy can't even wrestle. What's he doing here? And, is he 17-time world champion now, or did he not break Ric Flair's record?
I want to say he knocked Rick's record out the park. Not out the park, but he beat his record.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he got 17.
I can check on that, though.
I'm pretty sure he got it at the Royal Rumble, but I can't remember if he tied it or he broke the record. It's either 16 or 17. But you don't have WWE without John Cena, and it's just as simple as that. There is no WWE. There is no modern day WWE without John Cena. And he's also one of the most versatile guys. He can be a heel. He can be a face. He switched between rapper, create a superstar template on the SmackDown versus Raw games when he first came into the WWE with the friggin' sport team colors. And he's just adapted and evolved. Now, at this point, I don't really think he can go anymore. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think that's why he's gone. I think that's why he's gone, because he can't hang with any of the guys anymore. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. That's just what I think. And then, I don't know. I got two more. I got to put Undertaker. I mean, you have to. There's no WWE without The Undertaker. There's no WrestleMania without The Undertaker. And that's pretty much, I mean, come on, dude. How many years did people only tune in to WrestleMania to see if The Undertaker was going to lose his streak or not? I mean, there were a bunch of times where that's all that people cared about. That was the main event without it being the main event. And then the last one, oh, man. I don't want to pick the same as you, so I'm trying to think outside the box. Is this just WWE or all time?
No. This is all time, man. This is all.
All right. A lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna go with AJ Styles.
That is not a problem in my book, and man, AJ Styles is top 10 of all time in my book. He's top 10 and maybe even top 5, honestly, of all time in my book.
Yeah.
I like that pick. That may make some people upset, man, but I like it.
I feel like, dude, I mean, watching TNA, I mean, I didn't watch, like, the early TNA pay-per-views and stuff, but, I mean, TNA from 2005 till 2010 was pretty much the AJ Styles show. I mean, that's it. And they put the smaller guys on the map. I know everybody's going to say Rey Mysterio, Billy Kidman did it. I really don't think so. I think the guys who put the small wrestlers on the map were AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, all those guys in the X division who, in the Ultimate X matches, like where did you never got to see anything close to that in the WWE. Right. Climbing across the cables above the ring, like where they didn't have that anywhere.
No, and you know what? Now that you put it that way, man, I'm thinking about this, and now you call me out if this is too early to jump the gun, but I'm thinking about this like maybe TNA influenced WWE to let Chris and Eddie and the small wrestlers take the, hold the belts. What you think about that?
I think it definitely did, because I don't think TNA was built off the X division. I know people are going to say like guys like Jeff Jarrett, Sting came in there, but dude, the only thing anybody cared about in TNA was the X division. You had Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Loki or Senshi, whatever you want to call them. Like, those were the guys that put the smaller guys on the map. Those are the guys that brought the ROH. They basically put indie wrestling on the map through the TNA X division, because nobody cared about the independent scene until there was guys like AJ Styles, until there was guys like Christopher Daniels, until there was Chris Sabin, until there was Senshi or Loki who came from ROH. They didn't care until there was guys like that who really made people pay attention to those smaller guys.
No, I'm with you. I am with you. That's an interesting take. I didn't see it going that way, man. Yeah, once you put it in depth like that, TNA needs to be respected a whole lot more.
So I guess mine would be Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, and AJ Styles. I was going to take some of your other picks, but I couldn't. I can't. I got to make it a little different.
Okay, I understand. All right, so let's talk about heels. You want to take this on with the heels?
The heels.
Or you want me to go ahead and break it up? Because, I got all 4 of mine.
Go ahead. You kick us off for the heels.
Okay, so once again, we're talking Mount Rushmore. We're going to talk about Mount Rushmore of heels, okay? For those who are not wrestling fans tuning in somehow, some way, those are the bad guys, okay? All right, so heels, we're going to go top. Once again, this man was mentioned on the first one. I got to go Hogan. Mm-hmm. Listen, seeing Hogan go from the red and yellow to black and white was freaking amazing. I couldn't stand him. And I respected him at the same time because as someone who likes to study performance, I was amazed at how he was able to become a heel like that and have everyone hate him when literally everyone loved him. Like my great aunt, the woman who introduced me into wrestling, who passed at like 97, she loves Hogan. Yeah, so everybody loves Hogan. So anyway, yeah, Hogan as a heel, with Hollywood Hogan as a heel was great.
Right.
The number one heel, and once again, this list isn't in any order, but this guy who I'm going to mention next is the number one heel in my opinion, and that is Ric Flair.
Okay.
The Nature Boy. Absolutely. From day one, I hated him, and I thought he was just old all the time and boasting and bragged about all the fancy stuff he had that I didn't have, and I envied it as a child. Don't like Flair, but he's great at what he does. Love him. This number 3 on my list here, as one of the top heels, was somebody who I think he surprised everyone when he introduced this character in the late 90s. But he changed the game of wrestling with this heel character, and that is Mr. McMahon.
Okay.
One of the greatest heels
for sure.
in WWE.
Yeah.
At the last spot here for the Mount Rushmore heels, I had a difficult time choosing this person. It could have been a few, and I went with Triple H. And the reason why I went with Triple H is because to be more specific, not only can he play a great heel, but his reign of terror when he was just burying every wrestler in the mid-2000s, which, and in essence, when you look at it after the fact, it sucked for those on the come up. It sucked for a lot of other wrestlers, but you can't get any more heel than that.
No, man, that's
my Mount Rushmore.
Man, you have to have the 04 Triple H Reign of Terror on there, because if you watched wrestling and you were a kid, you literally would turn that shit off when he would come on. And nobody wanted to pay any attention. I hated Triple H as a kid. I could not stand him. I didn't even want to watch him wrestle. I was like, turn this off. I'm done with it. I hate this guy. And it's like, that's exactly what you need from a heel. And it was the same for Ric Flair. I never thought Flair was one of the greatest wrestlers in the game. I always thought Flair was kind of overhyped for his in-ring ability, but I think it was people loved him because of the way that he could portray certain things, like the Flair flop, coming off the ropes. Even the stupid thing he did where he elbow dropped his jacket or something. I forgot. It was on WCW.
Right. He sold it really well.
Yeah, and he would bleed with the white bleach blonde hair with all the blood. Like, if you think of somebody bleeding in professional wrestling, you're going to think of Mick Foley, and you're going to think of Ric Flair. There's nobody else you're going to think of. But, man, I think, this is tough. Give me, all right. I'm going to put one on here, and I put him on the last list, but I'm going to put him on in a different gimmick. And I'm going with the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker.
Oh, okay. Good choice.
Just because he didn't wrestle too much when he was the Ministry of Darkness. But if you're thinking about a heel, if you're thinking about a dark character, if you're thinking about the way people were presented, it doesn't get better than Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. There was nothing about that character that made you think he was a good guy. And that's the problem with heels nowadays, is they flip between the lines a little bit too much. One week they're a heel, the next week they kind of help out somebody and you're not too sure. Is this going to be a face turn? Is this going to be a heel turn? It's kind of like the Roman Reigns thing. But one thing I will say, and he's going to be the next person on my list, is Roman Reigns is one of the top heels in the WWE. Not because I like the way he wrestles, not because I ever gave a shit about him before he did the Tribal Chief thing, but this Tribal Chief thing put Roman Reigns above everybody else in the WWE, and it's got a really big jump between where he's at and where everybody else is.
Ooh, gosh darn it, kid. Yeah, that's right. You're speaking to the choir here, man. Hey, acknowledge him. You got done right. We the ones, acknowledge him. OTC, only one Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I'm too overstimulated over here.
I got one more. I'm trying to think. I gotta do it, and he hasn't even been wrestling for that long. But we're going MJF.
Great. Great choice. Now listen, I thought for a second, hey, is it too early to put him on? And you said you're right. He hasn't been wrestling long. But that is a great choice, man. I'm sorry, you go ahead and talk about him.
No, you're good. Dude, it's just MJF made AEW. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no questions about it. If anybody thinks anything different, they're an idiot. Because there would be no All Elite Wrestling without Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Okay? It does.
Absolutely.
There is no the dog collar match with him and CM Punk. One of the best modern wrestling matches and one of the best storylines that they've done in professional wrestling in probably the last 10 to 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what feud was better than MJF and CM Punk in the last 5-10 years? Maybe.
Good question, man. I'm thinking.
Maybe Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. I feel like that was up there because of how long it took them to figure it out and how long the story went on. But man, those were two of the top guys. That was a guy who hadn't been in wrestling for almost 10 years, coming back and facing off with one of the hottest guys in the business. And I really think that feud made MJF, it showed that he was above just about everybody else in terms of his ability to be a heel. That's why people want MJF versus Roman Reigns. That's why people were talking about MJF versus John Cena, because they know how much of a piece of shit he is on television. That's why. And if you had Roman Reigns versus MJF, I mean, there's no bigger match. Even at this point, right now, if MJF jumped ship and you had MJF versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that's your WrestleMania main event.
Oh my gosh, man. MJF. Okay, well, you know me as a WWE guy. So it was hard for me to be a fan of anybody who wasn't WWE. This guy, MJF, I have seen nothing like his character. Well, you've seen his character. I've heard him say things. I've seen him take his character to heights that we haven't seen before, or to lengths that we haven't seen before. Absolutely. I share your exact same sentiments when you talk about this matches with CM Punk, and it was a great rivalry. Absolutely. I'm super excited to see what this kid's going to do in the future. I thought for a second that we were going to see him pop up at WrestleMania, but I'm kind of glad that he did his thing and stuck to his guns and chose to stay with All Elite. Now, with this new tattoo he has of All Elite, does this mean he's going to be there forever? I would like to think so, but at the same time, it's very easy to get your tattoos covered
removed, or covered up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of think I thought that the perfect opportunity was for him to show up and cost Cody Rhodes the title at WrestleMania. There was no better situation to bring him in than to have him show up with a freaking hood on or something and hit him with a move that isn't even his move. See, that's the thing. They give the reveal away by the move that these guys get hit with. That you can't do that. You have to do a move. You have to do a move that isn't even in your moveset. Like if he would have hit what's it called? Cody Rhodes with like an FU or an F5. That's so far out of his moveset, nobody would have thought that it was him. Yeah. And then you remove the hood. And then it's like, oh shit, here we go. We got the best friends from AEW turned rivals. Now he crossed ship. They both jumped ship pretty much in the exact same way at a WrestleMania. And they closed the show with MJF standing over Cody Rhodes and just be like, whatever, look in the camera, and then that's it.
I like the way you think, Jared. I like the way you think. Well, hey, man. We talked about the heels. I guess we got to go faces to close it out, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, now, we can talk about faces. And this one, when it comes to faces, I honestly think that everybody can play a good face. And at least everybody has, majority of wrestlers have. So this list here, it's nothing spectacular. But these are great wrestlers on this list. Some names we heard before with, maybe one or two we haven't. All right, so here we go. Oh gosh, this guy's on all of my lists. Hulk Hogan. I'm not the biggest Hulk Hogan fan. You can't tell, but I am not the biggest Hulk Hogan fan, but I am a realist. This guy, when it comes to the WWE and faces, he was the face. He was the face of the franchise for a very long time, and he had a lot of these kids taking their vitamins, eating their Wheaties, and all of that good shit. All right. John Cena. John Cena's practically Hulk Hogan 2.0.
Yeah.
If you ask me, when it comes to the 2000s, he's led the way. He has become the face or the top face of the franchise. Obviously, we've seen what he's done since he's been here. No need to continue to talk about Cena. But we can talk about the next guy, Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
As one of the top faces. When you think about the golden age of wrestling, man, I think first when I think about the golden age of wrestling, all loud colors, big hair that comes to mind,
Right.
and a lot of energy and steroids, and these guys were on it.
Yeah.
Man, but they were out there putting on shows and being very entertaining. Regardless of the amount of skill moves they had in their skill set, they're being very entertaining. This last guy is someone who, I don't know, will MJF become like this guy and stay with one company forever? I don't know. Sting is on my list for one of the top faces, and when I think about Sting, I think about the Surfer Sting, of course.
Okay.
And then I think about Sting when he finally broke out of his shell and began to talk more, perform more. Black and Red NWO Sting, Sting in TNA, Sting when he was his face briefly and I'm sorry, not briefly, but Sting when he was in the face in his latter years of WCW. Sting's on my list. Hogan, Warrior, and John Cena for
Sting, Hogan, Warrior, and John Cena. Yeah, that's a good list. I never would have picked Sting, but it definitely makes sense. I was too young. I didn't watch Surfer Sting. I know everybody says that's the best Sting that ever existed, but when I think of Sting, I think of the NWO Wolfpack Red and Black. I think of the Crow Sting. I think of the Crow Sting facing off against the Undertaker in the WWE, which is something we never got. But, man, faces is an interesting one because I feel like there's a lot of guys that you could pick. There's a lot of guys that are heels, but they kind of come off as faces. Let me think. Okay. Let me get, I'm going to do it. I'm going Rey Mysterio. Not because...
Good choice.
I don't like Rey Mysterio. Let me tell you, I never liked Rey Mysterio. I have never once been a big fan of Rey Mysterio. But have you ever heard Rey Mysterio come out and not get cheered? The answer is no.
No,
never. He has always come out and got cheered. There was no heel Rey Mysterio, ever. And if you've never been a heel and you still get cheered, then you're doing something right. So, Rey Mysterio's got to be on there. So, number 1, Rey Mysterio. I'm not going to put John Cena because even when he is a face, people still hate his guts. So that doesn't work. It's kind of like the Roman Reigns thing. So
exactly like him, yeah.
Yeah, number 2, I'm going Goldberg. I don't think this guy could wrestle. I was never the biggest Goldberg. Actually, that's a lie. I did like Goldberg a lot. But getting older, I realized that he can't wrestle. But the one thing he can do is put asses in the seats and get people to cheer for him when he shows up on television. And that's exactly what we got when he crushed Brock Lesnar in 30 seconds or whatever it was. Who wasn't excited about how that happened? Who expected that to happen? Nobody. Nobody expected it to be that quick. And everybody was excited. I don't care if you were excited for shock value or you were excited because you liked Goldberg. Goldberg always gets cheered. I don't like the guy too much at this point. But that guy's a face through and through. And even if you hate him, he always gets cheered.
No. You're absolutely right, man. The only time I can't remember what happened when he was with what was that, the New Breed?
Oh yeah.
But he was a heel then. I can't remember if they booed him or not, or maybe they just booed the entire faction because it wasn't that great of an idea, or Russo was involved. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. The fans love Bill Goldberg to this day.
The next one,
which is so shocking to me, but that's what happens with these legends, man. Their names live forever.
Yeah, number 3. Man, this is a tough list because I'm not a big face fan. I like a lot of heels. I like the bad guys. But, all right. Give me Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, okay. Yeah, you're right. That's a great pick. When he reigned, I spent time in college away from wrestling on no cable. Mm-hmm. But I do know his. I am very, very familiar with his reign, and you're absolutely right, dude. When I look back at it, like in recent years, the way he had the audience, the way he was over, was freaking amazing, man. People still will give him top 5 credit to this day.
Yeah, it's
in conversations.
I can't believe neither of us put Edge on our heel list. I'm starting to think about that.
He was there. Believe me, I thought about Edge and I thought about Randy Orton. So I got Triple H was the last one I put on my list, so he took the cake. But yeah, Edge is a very good honorable mention, I believe.
I got one more for the faces.
You
Let
know
me
who
think.
I
Go
you know
ahead.
who I hated as well as a heel?
Who?
I really disliked them. Well, honorable mention, two of them actually. I really disliked Bob Backlund. Those guys did like him as a heel.
Why?
Now, but another heel that I'm thinking about, who's always been a heel in my eyes, Ted DiBiase,
Oh
$1
yeah,
Million Man.
for
I
sure.
think that's a pretty decent honorable mention.
It's what everybody loves to hate. The rich guy. It's perfect. It's just like Vince McMahon. It's the same thing, except $1 Million Man didn't run the company.
Right.
This is tough. I cannot think of this last one. Let me think.
You want a little help?
Sure, go ahead.
You got Daniel Bryan, whatever that guy's name is. Got Dan. Oh shit. You know what? Hey, I take that back. It's not whatever that guy's name is. I need to get it right. Bryan Danielson. Okay. You got Bryan Danielson is time in WWE. That's what I think about. We talked. I already said you said Ray. He was on the list. Talked about Sting. Jeff Hardy's a good one. Shucks.
Yeah, this is hard. Let me think. Face always gets cheered. Wow, this is a lot harder than I thought. I came up with the other ones way easier.
Yeah, shucks. I told you because there's so many of them. And everybody could be a face, but who can be a really good face, an impactful face? You know. Shucks.
Damn, I don't want to pick like a mid-carder because they weren't important enough. So I'm trying to come up with a good one. Oh, all right. I got it. Mick Foley.
Okay.
There we go. I don't know why I didn't put him on any of the other lists, but Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind. Yes, he was a heel like in 1996, but everybody loved Mick Foley because they wanted to see him die. Like that's what the guy did. It throwing off the cell, coming back, basically had 27 lives in the WWF and still found a way to come back after getting tossed off a cell, thrown through the ring, electrocuted by getting thrown off the stage. You gotta pick Mrs. Foley's baby boy. Come on.
Hey, there we go.
All right.
There we go. Great pick, man.
I know it took a little bit of time, but let's see. All right, I got a good topic for us to discuss, and it kind of goes off of somebody we already talked about, but we'll call him Malachi Black because he is in AEW right now, but I think he's going to come back to WWE with Triple H in charge. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think he's going to come back. And I think when he comes back, what they should do is form a new version of a Ministry of Darkness with Aleister Black as the leader. So, if they were going to do that with the current roster right now between SmackDown, Raw, NXT, who would you add to a group for a Ministry of Darkness 2.0 with Black as the leader? And you can add one female if you want.
Well, see now we're seeing these. Well, we're not seeing them. But to ask for a Ministry of Darkness 2.0, man, it's going to be difficult because now we see the
Wyatt 6, yeah.
We've seen the Wyatt family. We see the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
At least the early Judgment Day. So everybody who I can think of initially, they are all involved in those factions.
Yeah.
So, but you want names.
Yeah.
So what can we do? And we want to let's go 4 people.
Yeah.
3 guys, 1 girl?
Yeah, we'll go 4. 3 guys, 1 girl.
Malachi Black, of course. Shucks. Malachi Black. I'm still a Damian Priest fan, but he's not on the dark side anymore. Fudge. Oh boy.
It's hard when you really think about it.
Yeah. So I guess it'll be Malachi Black. It'll be Joe Gacy.
Okay.
It'll be Malachi, Joe Gacy. I'd even throw a Finn in there again, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw a Finn in there again. Yeah, Joe Gacy, Finn Balor, Malachi Black. As the woman, I'd still throw Rhea Ripley in there.
Oh, okay.
I would still throw her in there.
That's a good one.
If not, then we're gonna go grab Nikki Cross. She's with the why 6.
Yeah.
But then there was that. Who was that young lady in NXT?
Sarah Logan?
No, hell no.
Oh.
The Asian, the Asian young lady with the dark side. She had. She used to come out at the top of the Titantron and just.
I'm trying to think. Was she in a group?
She was not. I don't think she knows.
How long ago?
Oh, this is like within the last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know that one Zia Lee, but she was like martial arts related. That's the one I'm thinking of.
That may be her name. Oh no! I know who you're talking about. Malachi Black, Finn Balor, Joe Gacy, and Rhea Ripley.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's a good list.
And that's just top of the head there.
Yeah, I would go for the woman. I'm gonna bring Paige back because I think because I think she fits that role like perfectly. They could make her be a dark character. She kind of already is. They just never pushed it that far. But I'd go Malachi. I'd go Finn, but I'd bring him back like specifically as the demon. And when he's not the demon, I don't want him talking. Don't say a word. Don't say a word. Unleash Finn when you have to use him in a storyline. Have him be a mute. Dude, I don't care. It would be a lot better. And they would make the demon mean a lot more if he just only showed up when you really needed to draw that ace of spades or whatever it is. So we'll go Paige, Black, Finn. And then for the last one, trying to think. You know what? Give me the Blackheart Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, okay.
Not no DIY Ciampa. Give me Blackheart, like violent Tommaso Ciampa. So Ciampa, Black, Finn, and Paige.
That's not bad at all, my friend. Not bad at all. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty scary Ministry 2.0, man. Oh man, dude, real quick before we get out of here, did you see? I saw briefly. I was scrolling on the internet and I saw Evolution 2.0. Did you see this?
That they were gonna make an Evolution 2.0?
Yeah, someone was suggesting it.
Okay.
And the 3 that they had, and I'm trying to remember the fourth, and the fourth may come to me later. 3 members that they had in there was Sheamus as the Ric Flair character.
Okay.
They had Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. What's that guy NXT? Oba? Is that his name?
Oba, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they had those 3. And bro, I cannot, and I shouldn't even brought it up if I can't remember the fourth person, because I had the fourth person in my head.
Dude.
What you call it? Oh gosh, Steiner.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, yes. So it was Oba, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus.
I don't think that's bad. I'm going to be honest. I haven't paid attention to Oba, so I don't know if he's any good in the ring. I know he's been the champion for a long time, but I haven't watched him in the ring. Is this guy good? Does he deserve the...
Yeah, he deserves a... he will fit in that group. He deserves a main roster push. Definitely. He's talking more. He's a big powerhouse. So I'll say he's a dominating... He's pretty dominant. I'll say that.
For an...
I was bored with his style at first because I was so used to people like him. But no, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
For an Evolution 2.0. Did you know that Mark Jindrak was going to be in Evolution when they launched the group and then they put Randy Orton instead? Or Batista, one of them, I forgot.
It was, I thought it was Batista. It was Batista.
Yeah.
And then they had another guy. What am I thinking about? Was that the guy? No, that was the Mark Jindrak. Yeah, he actually had a promo. He cut at least one promo with them before he was taken out. You can find it on the internet somewhere.
Man,
when they were all like walking in suits in the street or some shit.
Evolution 2.0. See, this is the thing. Like, how do you build a group that you had like 15, 20 years ago?
Right.
Like, you can't bring it back and build it up a different way. But if I was gonna do the Evolution 2.0, I think you'd have to have Braun Breaker in there. I think that's a good pick. Oh man. I would say Ricochet, but he's gone. He's in AEW now, so that's not going to work. I don't know about Sheamus, man. I just can't picture him being in a group. He's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Shit,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Ciampa might be a good evolution pick. And maybe even Gargano. Shit.
I feel like, dude, I don't know what it is about Gargano because when he was in NXT, that guy felt like a certified main eventer.
I was going to say, dude, that was your favorite fucking wrestler.
Oh, of course. Come on. Now he fucking feels like he should be working outside the Burger King asking for change or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even trying to be like a dick about it. It's just he doesn't do anything, dude. Like, okay, they have DIY on the main roster. Great. That's amazing. Who cares? We don't need that anymore. We've already seen that enough. What did they come back 6 times in NXT? Like, I would put, Evolution, man. I don't know. You know what? I would make British Strong Style the new era Evolution. I would have Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and then I would take 2 other guys from Raw or SmackDown. I don't think we need Trent Seven because I never thought Trent Seven was that good. Like maybe, you know what? All right, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate. Who was that guy? Oh, Timothy Thatcher. Remember him from NXT?
Oh, yeah, Thatcher.
Yeah, so let's throw Thatcher in there. And then for the last one, let's go McIntyre. McIntyre, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, and Timothy Thatcher for a British Strong Style 2.0. Mm-hmm. I would do that.
I like it. Oh, British Strong Style 2.0. Oh, yeah, I like
it. Or, you know what? I've heard this guy might be coming back to the ring. They haven't confirmed it yet. But let's make Wade Barrett the mouthpiece for the group.
That would be perfect.
So Wade Barrett as the mouthpiece, and then Drew, Pete Dunne, Timothy Thatcher, Tyler Bate. Bam.
There we go. I like it, so I like it.
All right. Well, I think we covered enough for this episode. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on, man. I enjoyed it.
Of course. Yeah, we'll definitely get another one in within the coming weeks at some point. But, yeah, man, thanks for coming on. I'm glad we get to do something like this.
Oh, yeah, man. Always a good time to talk some wrestling. Shoot the shit. Get some giggles out. Speaking of giggles, you guys make sure you go get your laughs this week. Somewhere around Chicago, there's a comedy show going on. There's also a comedy festival all week. Anyway, go laugh. It's good for your soul. It's good for your health. Take care of yourself.
Exactly. And that's just about all we got for today. I'm your host, Double M. This has been Darius, my co-host, and I'm out.
Peace.